Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. We're talking about our multidimensionality, cosmic divine. And my guest today is here to share with us ways that you can tune in to your soul truth, aligning to your soul truth. Catherine O'Connor is here with us today, and she has been initiated into the lineage of Thoth. And we have the guides here with us. We'll hear from them today. And I want to share more about Catherine. She is a sacred architect and a scribe of infinite knowledge and a divinator of love magic. She is also the founder of Divine Temple, which is a spiritual business co-creating nourishing temple spaces and evolutionary programs so that you may align to soul truth. Catherine, thank you so much for being here. What a time on our planet to really, truly align with soul truth and embody. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And it's thank you for having me on the show. It's a real delight to be here and a pleasure.
Yes, we are excited to this whole topic of conversation. It feels so comforting and warm. Mm-hmm. And as we start, I'd like to first ask you about your journey. How were you initiated into the lineage of Thoth?
So I was initiated into the lineage of Thoth on a trip to Egypt. I had signed up for a program, which was a year-long program that became a 3-year program. And it was at the beginning of that journey of that particular program with Daniel Rama Hoffman. I was initiated. So I was in Egypt on a spiritual tour with her in one of the temples, in the Temple of Hathor, I think. Kind of can't quite remember exactly where. But yes, so that's when I was initiated. But Thoth has been present with me, like on reflection all my life. It was more that was the initiation time or space. Yeah.
And so do you channel him and bring forward his wisdom, or
yes, I do. So I channel Thoth, and I channel many beings of light. So Thoth was my primary access point, was the first being of light that I brought through and channeled. And with him, we've done, with him and kind of many other beings of light, but primarily him as an access point, we've brought through a number of different programs. Some I'm still developing, but one I do have fully developed, and I have people in the program. So that's really beautiful. That's one of the things we do together. And then that we also do kind of more what you might call alignment or healing type work, or he brings through those sorts of energies. And he will bring through messages, particular messages for someone when it's aligned and appropriate. So that's not a huge piece of the work that we do together, but it definitely comes through when it's aligned, and it tends to come through once I've been working with someone for a while. And the other thing he's starting to bring through some new information. And again, a lot of it's in vibration. So it's a lot of a vibrational experience. So it's reattuning the cells of the body. It's reattuning the emotional bodies and the physical and the mental bodies to a state of being that's more in harmony and more resonance with who you truly are, and ultimately, and obviously, who, like, where the earth is, where it's resonating now in the 5th dimension. So it's a process, and it's very much about the individual. Whether it's in a group setting or an individual setting. So it's very, it's there's a lot that can come through. And now it's still primarily Thoth, but now there are many beings of light that will step forward, just depending.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. So many of us are aware of Toth, but for those who may be new and experiencing this, can you describe more about him and how he carried the records from Atlantis to Egypt? And so do you know if he was just in Atlantis or was he also Lemurian as well? Do we know that much?
Well, I don't know if we know that much, but he's talking to me. So he's saying, yes, he was in Lemuria. He definitely was. So he definitely was in Atlantis. He carried the records across Atlantis. I carried them with him. And they were placed in Egypt. They're placed in the temples in Egypt. They're placed we know this, but they're placed in the stones in Egypt. So there are many records in the stones of Egypt. And then under the ground, and then they're guarded by the dragons. I mean, there's a whole there's a lot that's known, but essentially that is the story. And then he had to leave because the frequency of the vibration on the planet dropped to such a place that it wasn't really possible for him to be to be present in the way that he was present.
Okay. Well, this is a great question then, since Toth is already here with you and you're hearing him and you can answer the questions that we have. What happened so he had to leave because the vibration of the earth dropped. What was that like for him? Was he sad? Where did he go?
So when he has so in my imagery and my understanding, what he has shown me, and I think I personally feel very careful about this sort of information coming through, because I think we can concretize it too easily and get a bit locked in into what happened. So that's me personally. So what he has shown me and continues to show me is that where he is now, so where he went, is he resides in a dimensional space, time space, that is in the present moment, in the constant present moment. So he's in that vibration of source. And it's the imagery I get shown, or the language I get used to talk about it, is that he's residing within a temple space. And within that temple space are many other beings that might be also present on the Earth star. For example, I'm also present in the temple with him. So this is where you kind of get more into the multidimensionality, that we are vibrating and operating in many dimensions that we're not necessarily aware of. So this is where Toth is present. His intention for the Earth star is to bring it back, or to even raise it beyond where it was. So we're in a new paradigm of consciousness that brings us into that is in the fifth dimension. And we are, a lot of people feel like we're returning to the Atlantis or the Lemurian times, but in essence, we're bringing forward those energies and then working with them and the new energies that are stepping forward. So the universe is always expanding. We're always discovering. So he is working with the light in temple space, in constant meditation, bringing forward that which is aligned right now. Which is why it's so bespoke and so particular. And it's also why different, those who channel Toth bring forward aspects of the truth that is aligned for us to receive, and for those that we have that are kind of in our field to receive. So that's essentially, and when I see him kind of just with the light in meditation, and this extraordinary light with him. I could say more, and given that there are many of us also aligned with him in those temple spaces, it's like we're working together and then bringing it through. So it's kind of, it's almost beyond words, but this is this is some really lovely imagery and some truth.
Yes, well, it's fascinating that you are aware that you carried the records with Toth to Egypt. That's really fascinating. And I love how you mentioned the constant no time, and he's in constant meditation. So is he almost Okay, a bodhisattva is a someone who returns to stick around Earth until everyone has ascended. Is he almost like a bodhisattva?
Yeah, I think we could. Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a bodhisattva. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So let's go more into our multidimensionality because that's fascinating. That the words that you say that we're vibrating in multi dimensions, but that we're not aware of it. And so, how can we become more aware of our soul? How can we align with our soul? And how can we become more aware of our multidimensionality? How has that process been for you and your remembrances of this beautiful life that you have and what you are?
Yeah, so that's a really beautiful question. And the guides would like to bring through the information through me to answer that question. And part of that is will come through in light language, which is a lot about how I bring through the information. So if that's aligned for you and the audience, okay, beautiful. So we're bringing through some light language really to set the stage, to bring you into an experience of your soul light and of your multidimensionality. But first, particularly your soul light is your guiding, it's your guiding force, it's the guiding light. And something, the question that stepped forward was, how do you align to your soul? And that's a really, really beautiful question, because it is essential in this current epoch in human evolution, and always has been, but it is now more accessible and viable for you to be able to tune into your soul. And as we are speaking, we're also bringing through the vibrations to support you to tune more deeply into your soul. And in essence, the soul light that each of you carries within you is housed Nashanaka Aka Inaraka Kashiraka Aka Aka Nekiai Shiraka Ka Aka Aka Neki Shiraka Ka Aka Aka Neki Aka Aka Neki Araka Ka Ashiraka Ka Aka in a particular dimension within your system. And this can be felt in the physical body. Nashanaka Ki Shiraka Ka Aka Aka Nekiai. The great yogis called it in the cave of Brahma, or within the third eye. Shiraka Kia, Shiraka Ka Aka. You may feel it in your heart. Naraka Ka Shiraka Ka Aka. It's possible to tune into the soul. Shiraka Ki, Shiraka Ka Aka in many, many spaces and places. Naha Shiraka Ka Aka. And part of being able to tune into the soul is your frequency. It is raising the frequency, or raising the vibration of the cells of the body, which gives you more of an access point to allow your soul to step forward for you to, so that you can recognize it and tune into it. So the frequencies that we're bringing forward are assisting you to raise your vibration in a particular way, to help you to align to your soul, and in essence to recognize it, to feel it, to know that it is part of you. For to listen to the soul, possibly the first step is to know you have a soul, to accept that you have a soul, and to attune to it, to find it. So there are frequencies coming down through the crown chakra for each of you to receive bespoke Narakaka. So we just opened a Stargate, which we could call Soul Alignment Stargate, and we open the Stargate to allow those frequencies of soul alignment to come in more easily. And then within that, since this is a group and there will be others listening, Shiraka Aka Aka Neki Shiraka Aka Aka. Currently, there are 18 of you on the call. Shiraka Ki Aka Aka Neki Shiraka Aka. We also open a unique and individual Stargate for each of you and any of those who will be listening in the future. Shiraka Ki Na Aka Aka Neki. So, okay, so that just allows Nara Shiraka Aka Aka Neki. you to have your own unique experience and to receive your own unique energies of soul alignment. Inaraka ashiraka kiraka ka aka ake ne ki aka ake ne ki shiraka ka aka ake ne ki. So part of soul alignment is also aligning your soul path. Shiraka ki shiraka ka aka ake ne ki aka ake ne ka shiraka. So some of the soul paths are asking to align. And shiraka ki aka ake ne ki. Sometimes this is talked about as timelines. Shiraka ki anaraka ka shiraka ka aka ake ne ki. So as we're tuning in, there is the essence or the element of shiraka ki shiraka ka ake, like both a deep longing and a deep grief. Shiraka ki ake, and this grief is common, for as the records were carried from Atlantis to Egypt, there was also shiraka ka ake, a deep grief, like a deep wailing from the land. Shiraka ka ake ne kia, and a deep wailing from each of your, for those of you who are present at Atlantis, and this group is in a very aligned group, so that's like a very common an experience that many of you have had. Shiraka kia, shiraka ka ake, there was a deep wailing, shiraka, or deep grief that arose within your system as you were part of that, what has been called the Atlantean fall, but what we might also recalibrate to the Atlantean, like the transition. Shiraka ka aka ake ne kia aka na ha shiraka ka ake. So just allowing shiraka ki ake, any grief, shiraka ki shiraka, we're providing supporting energies, naraka ka shiraka ka ake, that also support your mental field. So the way that you perceive this shiraka ki ake, this great fall, to be more of a sense of, like, to have more abundance or more recognition that it was part of the great, like it was part of a process that was also required, as all processes are, all soul processes are required. There we go. So just allowing kind of any grief and any kind of like locked in misconceptions to go back, to rise, to go back to the light, allowing beings of light that are present with you just to assist you. Shiraka ka ake, inaraka ka ake, and yes, you can send this down into the earth if that is a more aligned access point for you to let go with, and just allow the crystalline energies of Mother Gaia to support you as you process this for yourself. Or as part of coming into soul alignment is also allowing the soul to release that which is past, that which is no longer of service. Okay, so there's a lot in the group, and particularly around that Egyptian, kind of Atlantean Egyptian epoch, that's just wanting to kind of update, to remind you, and some of you are receiving like aspects of yourself from those times, from that Egyptian, kind of Atlantean Egyptian time, where you were priestesses or were kind of operating with divine crystals. Okay. Okay. We'll just briefly, as that is kind of tapping in, as there were kind of, in essence, there were two questions in there. Or essentially the essence of two questions, just give you a little bit of space to also tap into your multidimensionality. There we go. So as we just bring in a little bit of the frequencies of multidimensionality to give you that sense of that you're more than you think you are. The experience you have of yourself on earth as a soul being, as a divine being on earth, is perhaps like your soul is asking to experience the expansion that is possible through accessing these dimensions where you are residing, that are higher dimensional frequencies or refined dimensional frequencies or other dimensional frequencies, where in essence your being is current. And it's always current because it's always current in the now moment. And we can chat, we can talk more about that. But right now we're just working with that multidimensionality. There we go. So it's just allowing you this experience, a very gentle experience of these other dimensions. Okay. Ina, tina, ana, tina, ana, tina, ana, tina, ana, tana, ana, tana, ana, tita, ata, ti. Titarati, tata, asharaka ka aka akane, kia araka ka akai. Isharaka ne inaraka ka sharaka ka aka akane, kia isharaka naraka ia aka akane kia. Ia narana inarana aka akane kia. You're more than you can possibly. Sharaka ki aka akane kia, inaraka ka sharaka ka aka ina. Okay, than many of you can possibly imagine. Sharaka kia na raka ka aka aka ne kia. Ishanaraka kia. Ishanaraka kia na aka aka ne kia aka ne kia. In this vibration, shana aka aka ne kia. Sharana iana raka kasharaka naraka kia na aka aka ne kia ne ina anaka aka aka. In the vibration of love, ashane. In the vibration of love, ne sanaraka ka aka aka ne kia. Calling sharaka ka aka aka ne kia aka aka ne kia. All sharaka ka aka aka na kia, aspects of the soul. Sharaka kia aka aka ne kia, into alignment. Back, sharaka ka aka aka ne kia. And Nasnaraka Ka'aka, the experience of your multidimensionality, to step forward. So you receive that which you are here to receive, that you receive that which you are. Sharaka Kiakai, Inaraka Ka'akai, on the plinth of Ma'at, in right relationship with yourself, that you receive you. Asharaka Ka'aka Akane Kia, in the fullness of who you are. Sharaka kia, sharaka ka aka akane ki aka akane ki. As we call forth your soul, shana aka akane ki, your multidimensionality, asharaka ka aka akane ki, asharaka ka aka akane ki. You were born on this earth, naraka aka akane ki, to be you. Sharaka kia aka akane ki, and to be the fullness of you. Sharaka kia naraka ka aka aka ne kia, for you are a divine being. Sharaka ki sharaka ka aka aka ne ki aka aka ne kia, with a direct access point to yourself. Sharaka ka aka, to source consciousness, to the light. Sharaka ki naraka ka sharaka ka aka aka ne kia. Sharaka ki aka aka ne kia aka aka ne kia. Sharaka ka aka aka ne kia kai. And to Sharaka ka aka, the experience, the riches, Sharaka ka aka ne kia, of a soul-led life in this dimension, on planet Earth, as well as in all the dimensions in which you reside, each resonating and supporting each other in the present now moment. Asharaka kia aka aka ne kia. Complete that piece. So we're wondering if you have any other questions for us, or whether you would like, where would you?
I think, thank you. It's so lovely, this space. I don't know why I find it so humorous. I found myself seeing from that soul perspective, and I just wanted to start laughing, but part of me, I believe it's releasing the grief from guilt over Lemuria, actually. And so I just want to share that I find it really humorous that there's just this level of I guess joy. We could call it joy. Why would I be experiencing laughter as something so guilty? This feeling of guilt and grief leaves our system, our collective system. I think I'm feeling laughter of everyone feeling this, perhaps, or maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Naha okay, so beautiful. What a beautiful. Okay, so we're celebrating Nah Shiraka Ka Aka Aka Nekia Aka Aka Nekia, and just assisting that entire field of grief to leave Nah Shiraka Ka Aka Aka Nekia Aka Aka Aka, and bringing in that beautiful joy of Nah Shiraka Ka Aka Aka Nekia. So what you've brought forward is this. The recognition of this field of grief, and that is it is an illusion. It is shiraka ka aka aka neki, shiraka ka aka aka neki, aka aka neki, aka aka neki. It was never like there is no purpose to the guilt, and there never was. Shiraka ka aka, for you did nothing wrong. How could you? Shiraka ka aka, how could the divine embodiment of the divine do anything that was not in service of the light, that was not in service of that which was required? So you're speaking for the group and for yourself. And you are bringing in the light and love of the joy of the present moment, of being here on the Earth Star now. Shiraka ka aka aka nekia, in this present moment. Ashiraka ka aka inaraka ka shiraka ki aka nekina aka aka neki aka aka ne. Ishiraka ka aka aka nekia. And the joy of being yourself with all that you are, all those beautiful energies of Lemuria, or you're carrying within your system, and the love that you carry for humanity, and the joy that you carry in all that you do and the work that you do and everything you bring forward. And we speak to the larger group and to you. I continue to bring through this laughter and this joy.
Again, I just want to laugh and cry at the same time. It's really quite extraordinary. Thank you. And I'm feeling the group. I'm feeling people in the group, and I'm sensing that the joy is coming. Woo, excuse me. The joy is coming through because of the guilt, or the guilt of, that I feel a little bit guilty of Lemuria. I know I'm not the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's making up, the joy that's coming through is making up for eons.
Yeah.
Eons of carrying that guilt. And so, wow, okay. All right, next question then. And then we're going to take some questions from our audience. So audience on Zoom, if you have questions, please, you can raise your hand. You can put them in our Zoom chat Q&A box. So stepping into 5D, is it simply aligning with the soul? Is aligning with the soul 5D? Is 5D soul embodiment? Or is there something more that we can add for this journey?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. And it's not one I've personally asked. So Sanaraka ka aka aka nekia aka aka nekia ishiraka ka aka aka nekia. just one small thing around the grief and the joy, like as grief, as the guilt leaves, then there is kind of like a relief in the system, like, because you're coming back into alignment. So that brings in the laughter, and it brings in that kind of like release of relief. So that's also part of that. And in answer to your question, so what we're bringing forward is we're bringing through these energies of fifth dimension. And they're coming through like in a package of energy. So it's like a block of energy that's dropping in. So as you're receiving this block of energy, just like allow your system to know that it will pick it up over time, because it's a large block of fifth dimensional energy that's coming in. And in essence, this is the process to answer this question around is being soul aligned fifth dimension, is that what fifth dimensional frequency is? And in essence, this is a kind of like a multi-dimensional complex, like a big question, like it's a question that holds many truths. And the reason it holds many truths is that part of soul alignment is coming into your heart, or into that vibrational frequency of love. So towards the end of the last transmission, we brought forward the frequency of love as a way to bring the soul into divine alignment, and bring aspects of your soul that might have been a little frozen back in. And that the purpose of bringing through that pure frequency of love in that process was aligning to the soul. Part of the essential aspect of that, or the way to access that, is through the vibration of love. So fifth dimension is that vibration of love, and fifth dimensional living is that vibration of soul aligned truth. And soul aligned sovereign truth. And in essence, of soul aligned truth is sovereign. There isn't, it can't not be. But these are words that we know are access points for you to understand what we're speaking of. So living in fifth dimensional reality is living a soul aligned path. It is living from the vibration of heart, or from the vibration of love. So it's kind of starting to make some sense to many of you. Like we can see, like that it's kind of starting to click in more. And in essence, some of the questions we're hearing is kind of like I don't know what to do. Like, how do I do it? Okay, and we really want to say, like, you don't, like, there's nothing to do. There really isn't anything to do. It's a being state, and out of the being state comes the doing. We would really invite each of you that is anxious or concerned, or worried that you're not on your soul path, or you could be more on your soul path, and are you living fifth dimensional, and are you not, to relax. Just allow your system to relax, and know that you can't not be on a soul path. So we know we're kind of it's just not possible. And as you raise your vibration, and we don't often talk about raising the vibration, but we are here, because as you raise your vibration, it allows the soul room to breathe. It allows the soul room to come more into the forefront, to allow you to make choices and aligned actions that are more in resonance with the truth of your soul. So what has happened on the Earth Star, and what can be your experience, is that the soul is present. You're on your soul path, and you're receiving that which you need to receive to be on the soul path. And that might come in unpreferred experiences, it might come in really beautiful experiences. But the illusions of the what has been called the third dimensional reality, which are not heart-based, which might be called separation consciousness, or might come from outdated ways of thinking and being, or unconscious patterns, they can step forward, and that's the being state that you're in, and that's where you're acting out of. And so it's not that you're not still on a soul aligned path, you are, but it's that the choices that the experience you're having and the choices that you may be making from that experience are not as a soul aligned as is optimal. So really what's being called for is that as you make those soul aligned choices and start to experience those higher dimensional frequencies, or those high consciousness frequencies of love and peace and truth and compassion, that raises your frequency, so that you're able to listen to your soul and make those choices from that place. And then also there's the, it's chicken and egg. As you make those choices, then your system naturally raises to that vibration until there's a place and space in which like it's just natural for you to be living in this way. It's just so natural that what you call triggers they're like kind of murmurs in the background. You get maybe a bit irritated with someone who's driving slow, but it's not going to take you out of the game in the way that it might have in the past. So I hope we're answering your question, because we know we brought in quite a bit then.
Yes, really good wisdom there, and very comforting. And it's pretty simple. Then we just remember that guidance and relax into all of it. So thank you. It is very, very comforting. And I wrote notes as you were talking that a soul-led life, soul-aligned, and then I write joy next to it, because it seems like joy is if all we do is be joy and anchor into joy all the time, that's our soul. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, again, we could speak. There's so much that you've just said. But very, very briefly, yes. If we step into joy, if we step into truth, if we step into celebration, we step into gratitude. This is all fifth dimensional, and it is also a way to recalibrate the system.
Beautiful. Well, we hope that our viewers and listeners are feeling this. So we're going to take some questions now. I hope everyone is elated. The feeling is effervescent for me, really, of bubbling joy. That's my take on all of it. So thank you. Let's go to our Q&A box. I did see some questions come in our chat, and so I'm going to get to those in the order that I saw them. So don't worry, Larry, if you had to put your question in the Q&A box. I see it here in the chat. All right, so here's a question Lisa has. Lisa is on our, she has her hand raised. So Lisa, I'm going to allow you to unmute and you can ask your question. Hi.
Hello. Hi. Thank you for taking my call. And thank you for this experience and co-creation. I'm really feeling it. I feel really light. I am feeling the joy bubble up as well. So it's a really nice feeling, very comforting and very familiar. So thank you for that. I am going to the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun in June for the solstice. I've been, there's been a lot of synchronicities with Thoth, with another soul sister who is also channeling, known as the Pyramidus Radius. And I'm going, and I've been asked by Maya to assist Thoth when I'm there to activate this radius that's across the planet that is activating the new crystalline grid, so to speak, or the new Earth star. Is there anything I need to know or do or prepare for that adventure?
Wow, what a question. Okay, so I'm going to let Thoth step forward for this.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, so ina aka ashiraka ka aka aka ne ki aka aka ne ki aka aka ne ki. Sharaka naraka ka sharaka ki aka akane ki na a sharaka ka aka akane ki sharaka ka aka akane ki aka akane ki ai. Inaraka naraka naraka ki asharaka ka aka akane ki naraka karaka karaka ka sharaka ka aka akane ki aka akane ki ai. Sharaka nasnaraka kiana ina makai isharaka kinaraka kasharaka ka aka akane ki aka akane ki araka ka akane ki ai. Sharaka nesni kina ama asharokuna akina aka asharaka ka akane ki aka akane ki aka akane ki ai. Shakina ina raka shanaka aki tina aka akane ki sharaka ka aka akane ki asharaka ka aka akane ki aka akane ki ai. Ishuraka kinaraka kasharaka ka aka akane ki shuraka ka aka akane ki ka akane ki anaraka kasharaka ka akane ki aka akane ki. So we are activating Shuraka ka Ashuraka ka aka like a central sun or a central star that comes from your heart chakra, from the center point of your heart chakra and shines out. Shuraka kinaraka ka Shuraka ka aka akane ki Shuraka ka aka akane kia, and bringing in crystalline energies. Shuraka ki aka sacred geometry forms. Naraka kinaraka ka Shuraka ka aka akane ki Shuraka ka Shuraka ka aka akane kia. Grounding frequencies, narasharaka ka aka akane ki, shuraka ka aka akane kia, a direct connection to shuraka ki aka aka, the records of Lemuria, the records of the records that you're needing to access. Naraka kinaraka ka shuraka ka aka akane kia in this present moment, shuraka ki ashuraka ka aka, and in the present moment when you connect these temple sites across the planet, hinaraka ka aka, to the crystalline core or the crystalline golden core of Mother Earth, shuraka ki aka, so there is also a crystalline golden core that you can access and activate. Shuraka ka aka, as you are in the temple space. Shuraka ka aka, you can call on Shuraka ka aka, other soul sisters, other light workers to support you, to support the activation of Shuraka ka aka by calling in their ascended master selves or their master selves, their higher selves. Shuraka ki shuraka ka aka aka ne ki aka aka ne ki ashuraka ka aka aka ne ki. Shuraka kinaraka ka aka, to ground in shuraka ki ashuraka ka aka aka, a central axis, and you know this, but we're reiterating it, to ground in a central axis like a central pole through the center of the pyramid that comes from source, naraka ki shuraka ka aka aka ne ki aka aka, through the temples of the divine, shuraka ki aka, that are connected to the divine star systems that are aligned, shuraka ki ashuraka ka aka aka ne ki aka aka ne ki aka, to this particular planet, shuraka ka aka, and to all the planets on the Earth star and within the cosmos, naraka ki shuraka ka aka. So in essence, all sacred sites on the Earth star are shuraka ka aka, also deeply connected cosmic sites throughout the cosmos, and then connected shuraka ka aka to the divine. Shuraka ki aka ashuraka ka aka aka ne kia. So it's like a great Shuraka ka aka cosmic pyramidal network that we are Shuraka ka aka activating with many soul sisters, many light workers. Now ashuraka ka aka aka nekia, and you are one of these. Naraka kinaraka ka shuraka ka aka, and as you activate this within your own system, this anchor point, this light point, Naraka, which we're assisting you to do in this now moment in your heart, and allowing that to radiate out, to connect to the crystalline golden core of Mother Earth, to bring through a central core channel of light from source down to the crystalline core of Mother Earth as you stand in the pyramid, ideally in the center point of the pyramid, but that is may not be physically possible, but if it is, shuraka ka aka, or in the inner chamber, or at least like allow your multidimensionality to be present in the center of the chamber, shuraka kinaraka ka shuraka ka aka aka ne kia, and then bring in the sacred form of shuraka, that which you're called to bring in, but at the moment we're seeing the sacred form of the pyramid, but there may be another sacred form around the pyramid, shuraka ki aka, that might be a tetrahedron. So just listen to me in the now moment as you channel and activate the network, the grid across the planet. So what you'll be doing is you'll be connecting many sacred sites, many temple sites across the planet, and then connecting them to the cosmos. And there's, like, as we're speaking, there is a lot of energy and a lot of information coming through you, which you will pick up, you'll see. yeah, so there's a lot of what we call light language symbology coming through for you. So just trust yourself, know that you have exactly what you require. And we've just deepened this a little bit for you and
Wow.
assist you to activate it.
Wow. Ooh, thank you. Whoa. I have no words for that, but I'm just gonna seep it in, soak it in, and ground. And thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm teary-eyed, and my heart is bursting, and I feel so honored. Thank you. Thank you. I'll go now so others can speak, but thank you so much, Soul Sisters, and I look forward to meeting you maybe in person one day. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste. It's an honor.
Wow, Lisa. Wow. You are activating a soul network on our planet. Amazing. Feel free to go back and listen to this. We did it right around the 37-minute mark. Okay. And Lisa, please let me know when you're done with that trip. Please connect with me. I'd love to hear and maybe even bring you on the show. Amazing. Thank you. Okay. Wow. All right. Really cool. What conviction and strength came through in that message? That was an activation, and it was for all of us, actually. Yes. Feeling that we were multidimensionally in that temple, in that pyramid already. I felt that. Cool. Yeah. Here is a question from Larry. Larry says, does Thoth have any advice for me to help me on my spiritual path?
Whoa. Okay. Larry, Thoth is laughing. And he's saying, what makes you think you're not on your spiritual path? Like he's got like this kind of, he's shown me like a whip, which I'm kind of going, okay. And he's just like calling you forth and saying like, you're on, like there are two, he's asking two questions. One is he's saying like you're on your spiritual path, keep trusting that you're on a spiritual path, keep moving forward, like just keep moving forward, keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep trusting that it's divinely aligned, that you're on your spiritual path. There is nothing that you are not doing. And just tuning in a little bit more, like he's also saying, like, you know, is there anything that's specific? Like, do you have more specificity to the question? Because that also is really helpful. And yeah, so that's part of what he's attuning you is like your heart's desires are like it's almost like you're holding yourself back, which is why he's saying keep going, keep moving. So he's encouraging you to like just to keep expanding out and know that you're on your path, and really to Ashraka Kiaka Akane Kia, bring in the love and light that you are. Shiraka Kiaka Ake, don't be afraid to like to really ask for what you want and really shine your light and be who you are. And you have a divine gift on this planet. Yeah, so this is really just coming through an energy for you now. Like kind of the gift of being yourself, and whoa, just keeping like just knowing that you really are on this path. Oh, and just really he's bringing through energies that just help you ground you into that reality, that truth. There we go. So that just assists your system to come forward in a way that's aligned and truthful for you. There we go. And also it's just a little bit of realignment to your soul path. a little bit of realignment for your soul. Oh, hana ka ia.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Larry says thank you as well.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Another question from our Q&A box. Well, here's a comment. I want to share this comment. So many tears as I connect with the unhealed aspects of myself that were trapped in judgments of their, ourselves, and any actions. I feel the release of these aspects heading back to the original creator as they see the truth through my eyes in this aspect body. Thank you for assisting. Thank you, Chris. Very good. Yes, the reconnection is so beautiful that it brings tears of joy. Okay, Destiny, you're up next, and I'm going to allow you to unmute so you can ask your question of Catherine and Toth and her guides.
Oh, wow. Hi.
Hi.
Lauren. Oh, thank you, my dear. Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Destiny. Destiny.
Destiny.
Hi, Destiny.
I keep coming back to my truth, and something within me keeps pulling me back out of it.
Ina aka ia nara kaka aka aka ne ki shiraka ka aka ne ina raka ka shiraka ka aka aka ne. Would you like to say more? And we know this
Well,
is a
there's
live.
yes. Yeah, I don't feel fully in my body. That's the thing. I don't know. Well, okay, I received help and I cleared this off, what it was. And then it was like, I don't know, something inside of me keeps coming up with this fear that is keep wanting to go back into the old way. And I'm just not sure exactly what it is, because I've been going through the same cycle for quite some time, and it keeps happening over and over. And I'm ready for me to get to the root of what this actually is, so I can heal it and move forward with what I'm here to do.
Beautiful, thank you. Nasna aka aka ne ki aka aka ne kia. So just pulling back the curtains in essence. Shiraka kia aka aka ne kia. So there's no purpose in redoing, redoing the same thing over and over again.
No.
Inaraka ka shiraka ka aka aka ne ki aka aka ne ki shiraka ka aka aka ne kia. So we're just assisting you through it's like your system has created like almost like a toroidal field, like a field of energy that that just like, so it just kind of keeps, you just kind of keep revisiting the same thing. So you're wanting to allow that field of energy that's around you that does look a little bit like a whirlwind, just a little bit like a whirlwind, to go back to the light. And it's like a cloak that's cloaking you as well. So it's cloaking you from you and cloaking you from others being able to see you. So as we're speaking, we're just allowing, kind of bringing in energies to help you just release that, like to lift it. So in essence, we started by breaking it, like by kind of just going in there and like you might go into kind of a whirlpool. When you walk in, the whirlpool is no longer whirling in the same way. So that kind of breaks the pattern of it. So it is a pattern, and it is a pattern that is in your mental mind. So that is partly what brings it back. So although you might have cleared some of the emotional aspects of it, and you kind of have a real recognition of what it's about, and you have a deep understanding of where it comes from and like what it means and how it's impacted your life, the energies that are still contained are contained primarily and not only, but in the mental field. Now, we know your question was like, where does this originate from? So really, we're talking about the pattern that is holding you or that brings you back. Shinaraka ka aka akane ki, shiraka ka aka akane kia. So this is really the part of the journey of the soul, is like when you step into the light, it's like you step into the light in the space and place in which you are at right now, in the being state of where you are right now. And what can happen with what we're seeing happening with you, and we've seen it with other individuals too, is almost like there's so much desire to be on a soul path and to move into the light and have those beautiful experiences of love and light, is that you're jumping forward of yourself. And so part of the process is to jump, to be in the present moment with who you are right now. And who you are right now, where you are right now in yourself is perfect. Like, we love you regardless. We love you for where you are right now. So as we are speaking, what we're also assisting your system to do is to come back into yourself. So you're not kind
I'm
of
still sensing, I'm
Yeah.
still sensing an energy, and it's like it's kind of swirling around on the left side. Like, it's causing me to feel really dizzy right now.
Right. Okay. So part of this dizziness. Okay. So just allow the energy that's swirling around on the left-hand side to release. And part of the dizziness is also you coming back into yourself. And as you come back into yourself, it's normal to start to feel more.
It's connected to my left foot. Somehow that energy is somehow connected to my left foot, because I could feel something fall out of it.
Right. Okay. So just allow that left foot to just release the energy. So know that you have. There we go. Okay. So that's bringing you back more into your present moment self.
And the right foot too.
Okay. So allow that energy to release.
Oh,
There we go. And then allow yourself to be present in your own body, in your own self. Don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anywhere. Just have to be you in this present moment.
oh.
There we go. So at the moment, you're also receiving some deep healing through the back of your heart from the guides and through the channel.
Thank you.
There we go. And it is deep healing you're receiving. So give yourself time and space to allow it to process. Don't, like, this is part of your journey, is to allow yourself time to process it, to be. Yeah, to go for a walk in nature, to know that you're receiving the healing, that you can just be. There we go. There we go. Oh, so that's releasing some of the mental kind of field of, around this, around kind of the actual kind of entering into the pattern over and over. Okay, my dear, we're going to complete there.
Thank you.
That's
Can we
absolute
can we ground me back down so I don't feel like I'm just kind of floating? Because right now I just feel kind of floaty.
Okay, yes, we can absolutely ground you back down. Okay, so there we go. So just feel from, okay. So allow a deep, like a tap root to go from your right through your central channel. So just a tap root to go down to the crystalline core of Mother Earth. Allow a beam of light from the crystalline core of Mother Earth to go up through your midline and connect to source consciousness or connect to the central sun. And then allow a beam of light to come down from the central sun right through to the crystalline core of Mother Earth. So you have two beams of light running, one down from source to the crystalline core, and one from the crystalline core up. There you go, and Mother Earth is sending up grounding frequencies to support you to stay grounded on this earth. And present on this earth star in this now moment, knowing that you will feel what you feel and simply allow yourself to feel. Oh, there we go. Oh, there you go. There you go. And you might want to get some body work to help integrate this.
Body work.
Like a massage.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Something where your body is being tended to.
Oh, man.
Cranial osteopathy, acupuncture, anything where it's actually working with your body.
Okay. Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Destiny. Receive, receive, receive. I know you are, sister. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Really amazing, Catherine. You offer these personal one-on-one sessions, activations for people, and we're witnessing you do that. And it's quite extraordinary to see how accurate you are, how it's just so beautiful. And we're going to talk more about how people can work with you. I'll put the link in our chat box, but I just want to say, really extraordinary. Thank you. I mean, people are feeling the shifts and we're just all blown away. So we're going to go to a few more. Here's a good question. Karen brings up a good question. I had this written down as well. On truth, is there one foundational truth? You mentioned sovereign, truth is sovereign. Is there one foundational truth, or is it relative to each soul? There's so many truths. Can you expand on truth?
Oh, wow. Okay, that's a beautiful, beautiful question and a personal passion. So thank you for that. So I'm going to let Toth step forward. So again, like when he speaks, as I speak, I bring forward energies of light and love. I bring forward the energies of light and love and truth. Truth is multidimensional. Truth is an aspect of the divine. Truth is the divine. Truth is light and love. Truth is the essence of all. Truth is truth. Truth with a capital T, truth with a small t. Yes, there are many multidimensional aspects to truth. There are many truths that each of you carry. There are many insights or perspectives of the truth that each of you carry. This is all true. And then there are universal truths. There are universal truths that are embodied truths on the earth star that each of you are embodying in a totality and as an aspect of. So as you speak your truth, you're both speaking the truth of your soul. You're speaking your soul truth in the now moment, that which is right for you, that which is required for you. And you speak that in the fullness, in the fullness of who it is that you are, in your truth, with an empowered voice, with the truth of your voice. The voice is the articulator of the truth in this paradigm of consciousness. And as you speak your divine truth, you're also bringing in and vibrating the frequencies of the universal truths, those truths that are held within the temples of light, those truths that are held within the tablets, the emerald tablets, those truths which are universal truths. Many great masters speak of the 55 laws or the 55 universal truths. These are the umbrella truths. And then you carry within you your own individual truth. What's right for you in your now moment? And there is so much more that we could expand on, and we're not 100. Okay, so we'll just listen for a moment to what we wanting to take the conversation, or where we kind of sensing, seeing, hearing you wanting to take the conversation. So there's a real gentleness in the truth that you bring forward. And we're sensing that part of what you're asking is that okay? And yes, that's perfect. That's okay. Like the way in which you bring forward your truth, whether it be in gentleness, whether it be kind of like questions like whether it be in anger, is that okay? So whether it be in gentleness, yes. Whether it be in anger, we wouldn't necessarily say yes to that. And the reason we wouldn't necessarily say yes to it, it's not that we want to say anger is not okay, which can be part of a kind of a spiritual illusion. It's more that truth needs to be spoken on the plinth of ma'at. It needs to be spoken from what we might call the 50-yard line. So when you're present with yourself, so this is where the sovereign piece comes in, where you're present with yourself in the now moment and you're able to feel into your own truth. So we're in that space. It's truth doesn't come out. It doesn't. Anger and anger and sovereignty don't align. It's not like to bring truth out in anger. It's not that those two paradigms don't go together. They're different paradigms of reality. One is in separation, and one is in what we're calling the fifth dimensional frequencies, the new paradigm frequencies. So in essence, that's why we are such a stand for coming into your soul alignment, because it's from that place, that sovereign place, that the truth that you have resonating within your own system can be spoken in a way that's aligned. So yes, it's speaking your truth in the now moment in a way that feels aligned, whether it's gentle, whether it's kind of like strong, like it's more Sekhmet energy. All of that is aligned in sovereignty. So when it's on the 50-yard line, when you're claiming your truth and you're speaking your truth from a place of like empowerment, or speaking your truth from a place of like sovereignty. This is my truth and I'm speaking it out, and it's for another to receive, and how they receive it is up to them. How they respond is completely up to them. So it's like you're placing, okay, if we take a really simple example, maybe in a relationship with a lover, like I would like the bathroom to be clear of kind of some of the soap bars that are on it. Like I'd like one soap bar on the thing. This is my truth. This is how I like to operate. So you're placing it on the altar. This is your truth. And this comes under the universal umbrella, maybe of kind of sovereignty. And so aligned sovereignty. And then it's up to that individual that you might be speaking your truth to actually listen, to take it in, to recognize it's your truth, and to sit with themselves and listen to what is their truth. And their truth may be aligned, or they may recalibrate. They may go, oh, actually, yeah, this feels really good. I like this. Or it may be they go, well, actually, like I really like having, a bar of my own bar of soap, and you having your bar of soap. Like, this is my truth. My truth is more aligned for me. This feels more resonant for me. And so then it just becomes a place of what we call kōrero in Aotearoa. So conversation. So like we're kind of stepping down the levels from the big universal kind of emerald tablets to kind of that, and then really to the specifics in relationship. So I hope we've answered your question.
Thank you. And thank you for that question. All right. Here is Linda. Linda says, I too had much grief and so grateful to have some relief from it that carried into other areas in this life. How can we fully call forth our gifts, our talents, our beautiful work, our joy and love we didn't bring forth in these times? I hope I'm asking that correctly. I know it's all there too, from Atlantis, Egypt, and Lemuria, etc., and feel it is meant to be shared here in this time. How can we bring all those gifts and talents and our beautiful work and joy? How do we bring them here now?
Oh, okay. So they're here now. So they're already here now. This is part of multidimensionality. Ashiraka ka aka aka ne kia ka aka ne ki shiraka ka aka. It's part of expanding and being in the present moment and knowing that the present moment, the now moment, is all that there is. Shiraka ka aka aka ne kia, that you already have access to those gifts and talents. Shiraka ki aka aka ne ki shiraka ka aka, they are present with you always. Shiraka kinaraka ka aka, these fifth dimensional frequencies of light and love, of grace, of gratitude, of peace, of love. Naraka ka shiraka ka aka. It's not that you didn't bring them forward in Lemuria and Atlantis, you did. Shiraka kinaraka ka shiraka ka aka. So part of the grief and part of this process of releasing the grief and any guilt and any shame that you have around not doing what you felt like you were supposed to do. Naraka ka shiraka ka aka. We just invite you to release that. Shiraka ki aka aka, to send it back to the light. Na ashiraka ki ashiraka ka aka aka ne kia. Shiraka ki aka aka ne ki, shiraka ka aka aka ne ki aka aka ne kia, so that you can realign your soul truth to that which you are. Shiraka ki ashiraka ka aka, to a magnificent gifter, and this is for the whole group. Shiraka ka aka. So thank you for asking that question. So simply allowing shiraka ka aka aka, inaraka ka aka, any residual of grief, of guilt, of shame, particularly of shame. Shiraka ka aka, where you feel that you did not do what you were supposed to do, and that you're forever kind of trying to bring forward these frequencies that you already have access to. Shiraka ka aka ne kia, and that are streaming onto the planet also for you to access. Shiraka ka aka, that are in your present life. Naraka ka shiraka ka aka ne kia ka aka ne kia, and as you release that guilt, that shame, shiraka ki aka, that anaraka ka aka ne ki aka, that allows shiraka ka aka, like just very briefly, we're doing this very quickly more to give you a taste, but also it is also dynamic, so it is having a huge impact at the same time. So it is again another deep transmission as you are releasing, as the group is releasing this shame. Anaraka ka shiraka ka aka aka ne kia ka aka inaraka ka aka, and that naturally nikaraka ka aka allows for love and light to come through more easily into the cells of your body, and then also allows for like the experience of activating at the level of the DNA. Shiraka ki aka aka aka, all that you be, all that you are, all these na shiraka ka aka, hidden gifts and talents. Na ashiraka ka aka, and shiraka ka aka, part of this is also accessing some of the tablets that are with, like some of the records in the temples. Shiraka ka aka, and we've seen the temples of Egypt in particular, but there are many temple spaces which hold records, many places, sacred places on the earth that aren't even temples. Shiraka ki ashiraka ka aka, or that which you recognize as temples. Ashiraka ka aka aka ne kia. So just allowing each of you to receive in like a tincture form that which is yours to receive and activate at the level of the DNA, that which is yours to activate of your gifts and talents, or that which you call your gifts and talents. Naraka ka aka, you're remembering of them, kind of aligning to your soul of them, a reactivation of them. Anaraka ka aka aka ne ki, ashraka ka aka aka ne ki, anaraka ka ashraka ka aka aka ne ki. So to answer your question, in essence, we've taken you through a process to experience how shiraka ka aka you access these gifts and talents, and know that these energies are aligned for you to receive, and they are a present moment experience for you. And there you go. So some of the Lemurian, the Lemurian energies are also coming forward, because that is also part of your grief, is that kind of knowing in your system of what it's like to be in such a beautiful space, like in so much peace and love, and so much resonance with the planet and with each other, and so much kind of joy and simplicity and nourishment that you receive from the planet, and from just being in the state of absolute oneness, or what we now call individualized oneness. Being with your master ascended selves, or your master selves, which many of you call, which we can call priestesses and workers of the light and workers of the love. So for many of you, these are just kind of stepping back in and We're going to just allow that process to kind of just continue for the next kind of 5 to 10 minutes for each of you, just like as we continue to talk, as we continue to answer more questions, just allowing that process to continue until it is optimal to complete.
Thank you. We are feeling that. And thank you for that question. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was Linda's question, because that fits all of us. That fits all of us. Thank you, Linda. Multidimensional question that shows our oneness, how we're all connected, and our individualized oneness. I love that phrase, individualized oneness. There's something very sovereign about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll let that continue to work on us. And we have space for a few more questions. I first want to have you share more, Catherine, about the activation, your personal one-on-one activation. I'm putting in our Zoom chat the link to that. It's also here on this webpage, so people can check that out. But tell us what happens in this activation.
Yeah, that's a really beautiful question. So it is a very bespoke, it's very individualized, a bit like what we've been doing here. So we work with very much where you're at, and like it is a soul alignment. So there will be, a chance to bring to the altar that which you most desire and work with that specifically. It is activating the soul, and we've called it like activating the cosmic soul. And the reason for that is that you have like what we might call cosmic lineages or star systems where you are currently residing, or you may like to think of it as that you have resided in. And those energies and frequencies are very familiar to your system. Your system really understands them because that's where you're residing, and that's where you've experienced, you've had that experience. So it is tapping into those frequencies that are aligned for you, that are right for you, that are cosmic frequencies, that are also divine frequencies, and very soul aligned in where you're at right now. We're working multidimensionality, and we're bringing through kind of like an expansion of who you are. In a very soul-aligned way. So for each of you, that can look different. It can look like clearings, it can look like activations, it can look like just like deeper soul embodiment.
Beautiful. And I just want to say what a gift the activation session is. You'll see the number 77, it's $77. And that right there is spiritual alignment, soul alignment number right there. Very empowering. So for those who need it, there's a 2 payment plan as well. And what a beautiful investment we can give ourselves. You were mentioning body work. We'll go and invest in body work to help us integrate energies and to help the body assimilate energies. But something like this at such a miraculous number is such a gift. Thank you for sharing your time like that, and offering a package like that for those to step up and do that. That's a really affordable rate, I'd like to say as well, for an hour and 15 minutes. Is that recorded if people want to go back and listen?
That is recorded, and you will receive the recording, so you can go back and listen. Yes.
What a treasure. Beautiful. Okay, thank you. So if you'd like a personal activation session with Catherine, you see how she works, you see what that's about, you can feel the energy and help you align with your soul truth, and be embodied. Thank you. Okay, and I look on my clock, it's 2:22. There's those magical codes again.
Wow.
Let's go to, I'm going to go to our call line, 5959 Linda. Hi.
Hi. Hi, Lauren. How are you? Hi, Catherine.
Hi, Linda.
It was lovely to talk to you. I've been enjoying the activations. I have a question. What
Mhm.
is the best way to align with my my guides and my angels? And also, one other question, if I
Mhm.
can.
Yeah.
I'd like to know where they would like me most to concentrate as far as my spiritual gifts are concerned, if at all possible.
Okay, great. So we're going to ask you a question.
Sure.
Where are you feeling most called to align your spiritual gifts and talents?
Healing,
Healing? Perfect.
energy, and I I have like a 0 point energy wand that is just like, if you get it, it's like you kind of zone out.
Okay, so they're encouraging you to use that wand.
Okay.
They're encouraging you to listen, to go into the healing arts, because that's where your passion is, that's where your interest is, that's where your calling is. So listen to that, trust it.
Thank you.
So yes, continue on your path, use your healing wand. What is there? Is there your angels and guides are like, they're present, they're absolutely present. And they're wanting to speak to you, speak to you more. Like they're always talking to you. But they're so present. It's like it's like a room full of
Oh,
like a conversation that's just like, oh, like they're just talking. I'm not 100% certain what that's about. So I'll just tune in a little bit deeper.
thank you.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they're like, I can see like 6, and they're creating like a sacred geometry around you. So 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 1 in front of your heart and 1 behind. And yeah, so they're placing like a sacred geometry form, from how they've positioned themselves. So they're partly chatting to get my attention. That was partly what that was about, and to get your attention. So they're placing a sacred geometry form around you, like in the form of a, like it's got 6 points. So it's a bit like a double terminated crystal.
Okay.
And the frequencies, so that they're bringing in are like quartz, kind of golden quartz frequencies. And because the question you said is like, how can I align to my more deeply to my guides, which is in essence our senses. How can I hear them? How can I hear what they're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, it's because you're aligned. They're there. So this sacred form is to assist you to start to begin to create the channels of light, or the channels of light, so that you can hear them more easily. And part of that process for you as an individual is to trust that which you hear. So just to trust that you are that you hear accurately. And to know that like everyone hears differently. Some people hear it kind of like as a whisper, almost like just kind of like this intuitive knowing. And that's the guide speaking, or like an idea dropping in. That's the guide speaking. And others hear it like a loud voice. And so also what they're encouraging you to do is just to speak as though, like a little bit like, goodness, the light's changed here.
I noticed.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. I think that might be the sun going behind the clouds. I'm not sure. I've never had that happen. Yeah, so I'm just trying to tune in if that's kind of part of this. Yeah, so in essence, like as we're speaking, as we're sitting together, and they put this kind of sacred form around you in a crystalline form. It's just helping realign your system. So to start to let go of any kind of sense of doubt that you have around your ability to hear your guides, any doubt around your ability to heal, any doubt, and start to bring in some more, how do we say, like healing energies that are aligned for you.
Okay.
And when they're saying that, they're meaning ones that you will work with. Okay, in your path of consciousness. And if a training sets forward that you want to do, or you've done one, just trust that.
Okay,
Yeah,
because I've done a lot of training.
you've done a lot of training. Okay, so are you
Yes,
are
as
you
far
re-
as like a massage type of thing, although I'm
Yeah.
not a masseuse, but I do massages for people like for their feet and for their back and stuff. And I also do some writing. I don't know if they do want me to encourage that or not.
Yeah, no, they do. So that's what I was saying, is that like as part of a way to access what they're saying, right? And just like write in stream of consciousness, ask questions. We get 2 colored pens and write in 2 different colors.
Oh.
One, you know, one is for your questions, one is for their answers. That's just a really lovely way to access it. And do more of your healing work, like as much as feels aligned, but just stay on that path. And if there are other things that call you that you want to kind of deepen into, do, and start to change your phraseology. Like, I'm not a masseuse. Yes, you are. You massage people's feet.
Oh.
So you are
Okay.
like, yeah, this is part of stepping into the belief of that which you bring forward. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, Lauren, you're so wonderful to call on me. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. That was wonderful.
That's a pleasure, Linda.
You guys are blessings. Oh, I love you guys both. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And wow, Catherine, it's really amazing. You became incognito here, I guess.
Yes,
So,
yes, I did.
perfect divine timing for our show to conclude. And I wanted to say, sorry, we couldn't get to all the questions. People are lining up, raising their hand to talk with you. Therefore, we hope that people will work with you one-on-one in a personal session. Again, what an affordable investment for everyone. And it's quite the gift that Catherine is offering. So thank you all for being here. Catherine, thank you. This has been exquisite. I am still feeling, wow, this is soul alignment for truth. I just find it amazing that all of our conversations this week and even last week this conversation fits what we've been talking about. And that is multidimensional. And that is reflective of our oneness, our individuated oneness. And it's magic, if you ask me. I'm getting chills as I talk. As we say goodbye and thank you with the deepest gratitude for being here, I just want to give you a moment for final comments.
Yes, we're stepping into a real time of soul alignment, and that being, soul path. And it's no accident that the conversations are all in resonant and attuned to that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would bring forward is it's been like such a delight to be here, such a pleasure to speak with you and to answer the questions of your audience and community. It's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you for having me on your show. Thank you.
We will have you again because there's more questions and we'd love to hear more from the beings that you work with, including Thoth and all the spiritual hierarchy that surrounds you and surrounds us. Thank you, Catherine O'Connor, for this beautiful quantum conversation. Namaste.
Namaste.
And thank you, beautiful people in our audience. We love you, and we hope that you are exquisitely reminded and fully reminded of your great beingness, multidimensionality, and are ready to step forward in great new ways as this giant, incredible master being of light that you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.